Do you still have room for more decorations on your tree? This heart has a small granny square in the middle, and then we have continued from there. And there's thin wire inside the last round, so you can shape it so it stays open. You can also put some candy in them. And you can of course make them in any color. This one has also glitter. You need some yarn in whatever colors you like to use, and then a crochet hook that goes with the weight of the yarns you have chosen. Because this doesn't take a lot of yarn, you can also use leftover balls if you have some. And then you could have glitter yarn for the finishing. And you need some sort of wire so that this here bends and stays the way you shape it. I'm using florist wire doubled, but any kind of thin wire will do. There is a small granny square here in the middle, and that's what we start with. I have a detailed video about how to make a granny square, so if you are not sure how to do it, please go over to that video first. I'm linking it both here in the top right corner and in the description. What you need is the first 2 rounds of a granny square. And you need to make the granny square the way I show on that video so that your finishing is in the corner. I'm in the ending corner now, and you finish the round off with a half double crochet into the start of the round. This ensures that we are at the right place when we continue. So half double crochet, pulling the yarn straight through all the loops. And then we'll start making one of these round bits of the heart. Chain 1, and we will be making 7 double trebles into this here space. So double treble means 3 yarn overs. So take 3 yarn overs, insert the hook in that there space, and a yarn over, and each time through 2 loops, and a new yarn over, and again. So here's 1 double treble using the American terms. Chain 1 and make another double treble with 3 yarn overs. So just the same, and in that same space. All of them go in that same space. Now we got 2. Then chain 1 and make 5 more, so that you'll end up having 7 double trebles in this here space. Here I have 7. And after those 7, chain 1 single crochet in the next corner. So in between these 2 groups that are in the same space, right in front of you, that one there, 1 single crochet. And then do the other one exactly the same. So chain 1 and 7 double trebles in that there next space again. So always a double treble and chain 1. 7 here, so I have both sides. And finish off this, chain 1 and go in the next corner here of that original granny square, and a slip stitch there, and then make 1 stitch, cut the yarn and pull it through. And then this is finished. And then make another one exactly the same or in different color. I'll make a green one. I have the 2 done, and then we need to crochet them together round here first. Take the yarn you want to use for joining them and put these against each other with the wrong sides facing, and find the place before the last of the 7 double trebles. and insert your hook there through both of these at the same time. So it's the same space before the 7th double treble on both sides. And get the yarn. In spaces like this I always use the yarn double when starting. Then you can leave it inside the stitches. And then we are using single crochets for joining these two pieces. And always insert the hook through both parts. One single crochet. Here I'll insert the hook into this here space, but then otherwise I'll insert it into the stitches. One single crochet in each stitch. So it joins them through both. And keep going until the point here first. At the point I put the stitch in through the space there and 2 single crochets there, so it makes a little bit more of a point. And then continue the other side the same until you have come past the first of the double trebles on this here side when we start from here. Here's the first of the double trebles, and I'll make a single crochet in the space after it. And if you're going to change the yarn color now, you can finish off this yarn or continue with the same one. I'll finish this off with glitter yarn, so I'm finishing this off here. There. Then get your wire. It depends now how thick your wire is. If you need to double it, I do need to. So I'm calculating it will go around this here on both sides. So one length will be like this, and then I add a bit because it needs to have the ends, and then I'll double it. Here's it double, and then cut it either with pliers or with old scissors. Then take your wire and set it here where they join and let it go over a bit. That can be attached later. And take whatever yarn you are going to use now and start in that same gap where we finished that there joining. So take the yarn and now make sure then that the wire stays inside all your stitches. Make the first one very tight. So the wire, so that it's always in there. And I'll make one more stitch in that same space. And then after that, always 3 single crochets in each of the chain spaces. So in this one, and making sure the wire stays in my stitches. 1, 2, 3, and the wire is in there. And the next one, 3 stitches there. And so on. So continue until the end of the first half round there, and then we'll look at that. Always 3 single crochets in each space. That's the first half done, and my wire is in it. And here, insert the hook now in that same space where the stitch in front of you is. So right there in that corner of the original granny square, and make a tight stitch there. Like that. And then continue the other side. Always 3 single crochets in each chain space. Until you come here where the colors join. And now here It's enough just to have 2 single crochets in that same space where we finished the other joining, and then bend the wire around in here like that. So now it turns back there, and then again 2 single crochets in that first space, and then simply do this other side exactly the same as we did that there side until you can come to the end here. So here we are, and then at the end go across to the other side and make 1 stitch to the start of this here color and make a slip stitch and then finish it off. And finish off the yarn ends and then bend the wire ends inside this here, and if you have a long one like me, then cut it. I have the wire ends in here, inside here now, and twist them slightly around each other and press them down and then cut the rest out. Then shape it nicely, and now it stays open slightly because of the wire there, and add a hanging loop. And here it is, ready to go on the tree.